This is Wildgate. This is, well, the TLDR is it's Sea of Thieves in space. So think of Sea of Thieves, but it's all sci-fi. You've got ships. You can board the ships. You can overload reactors. You've got shields. You've got lasers. All of that stuff. And there's aliens. Let me break this down. What I want to do is show you a full gameplay clip and commentate over this and just explain what this game is, because it's deceptively complicated, but I think there are still some things which could probably be a bit better. But for what it is a super fun game. So I've actually had the chance to play this game fairly consistently over the last couple of months through a couple of test periods, of which the game has been in development. Now, this game is designed by a studio called Moonshot Games, who are a subsidiary of Dreamhaven. And Dreamhaven was set up by Mike Morhaime, the original co-founder of Blizzard. And this studio itself is run by the likes of Dustin Browder, who is of StarCraft 2 fame and Blizzard fame, and a bunch of other ex-Blizzard developers as well. This is their first sort of big game announcement, their new IP they've been working on for the last 5 years. So I think the first place to start with all this is, you guys seen the ships before they moved into the, I think that it's called the Reach, the area you get to. Basically, it's just, you know, the map the game takes place on. There's 5 ships, and you've basically got a decision to make. You can either go and immediately attack the enemy ships if you can find them, loot stuff to upgrade your ship, which is definitely what you should do, or you can hide and try and find the artifact, which will be on one of the points of interest throughout the map. Once you've found that, get it on your ship. Obviously, everybody can see that you've got it, and then find the Wildgate and escape through the Wildgate. Now, if you look at the top right-hand side of the screen, where it says tab map 5 of 5 and then 4%, that 4% is the Wildgate charging. So when that gets to 100%, the gate will be active and you can go through it, but you've still got to find it. I will say, in all of the games that I've played, I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually get the artifact and escape. It could, on paper, actually make for some fun moments where you're rushing to the gate and all the other ships are chasing you and everyone's trying to blow you up, and you don't actually get destroyed and you get through the gate. But generally what I've found is it just breaks out into a lot of ship battles, almost like 1v1s, or you get third-partied, and then the game ends that way, which is still fun, I must say. So, what's going on here is we've actually come into the easy POI, which is right next to your ship. Now, if you're unlucky and your ship spawns inside a POI, which can happen, the game is in early development, but anyway, you generally spawn next to a low-level POI, which will have some low-level loot. Sometimes, though, you can get really lucky. So watch this. I go into the loot room after we finish that PvE event. And by the way, they're all PvE events from what I could tell. Is this thing? It's an ancient relic. I clicked on it. I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this. I've been in here before. It's this crazy loot chamber with loads of high-level loot. And I'm like, what's killing me? Well, it turns out that there was another player in the loot chamber waiting for me. Or at least waiting for maybe another player to get in there. Or they just got lucky and they killed me. I didn't actually realize other players could get into the loot chamber from different locations. But it turns out they can. So that loot chamber would be like somewhere hidden on the map. And the only way to get there was through the teleporter. And maybe there's other ways, but whatever. The teleporter is how you get it. And the teleporter is random loot. It's a shame, because if I got the weapon upgrade from there, I could have only took one item, by the way. Because when I ported back, I would not be able to go back to it again. I could have upgraded the ship in a big way. And a lot of things do come down to the firepower of the ship. There are different ships you can get. So most of the games were played in the scout ship, but there is a battleship, and I've played a few games in that. And you will see one of those attacking us quite relentlessly in this game. But they've basically got more weapons on them. They don't think they move anywhere near as fast as the scout ship, but they've got more weapons. You don't really want to get involved in a prolonged fight with them. That's not going to be good. It's going to be quite bad. But again, if you've got better shields, better weapons, you can fight them. You can take them on, right? So what the gameplay loop sort of is, early game, again, you can see, graphically, I really like the map. It's very vibrant. I really like this. It feels Overwatchy in some ways, where it's like super vibrant, and, you know, it's kind of got like that Pixar sci-fi style, you know, cartoony sort of look to it. I think it's fine. They could have gone completely ridiculous and made it look insane, but again, they've kind of played it a little bit safe. So this is me boarding an enemy ship. So I used one of the turbines to get me closer. You know, think like what divers use in the water, I guess, to like jet forward. And I've killed 2 guys on the ship, so I know there's only going to be 2 more guys. But I've instantly been killed by this guy, and it's a little bit frustrating. And I go back to my ship. That's fine. You know, if I got onto the ship, then I probably should have been able to maybe activate the warp, well, not the warp core, activate the core overload, but they probably would have easily disabled it because 1v4, it is very difficult to win. So I'm using this magnetic sort of coil thing. You can throw that out and it makes you move faster through space. There is another mechanic you need to be aware of, is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, I've got oxygen. Now, your oxygen will deplete, and I've actually been sniped as well by the beam rifle, which is really strong. You can sit on top of your ship with that and just shoot enemy players. If you see them trying to come and board your ship or, like, move to a POI, it's really, really good, that is. But, yeah. There's an oxygen mechanic. Oh, this is really good, actually, this bit. So, they boarded our ship. Did you hear the player in our team shout they're on our ship? We actually just turned around and destroyed him. And which, by the way, we're on the gun turrets, and it feels like you're on the Millennium Falcon and you're on the gun turret. It's quite enjoyable. The weapons are generally projectile. I think there's like a laser beam, but it's like a point-blank weapon if you have to get super close to use it. But yeah, the projectile, again, I think it's just for balance reasons, because if you're all firing lasers, you'd be instantly hitting everyone from every single... you know, the distance wouldn't matter. It'd be bang, bang, bang. So there's a little bit of a mini game. You need to aim your projectiles and fire them in onto the enemy. But let me just quickly finish on the oxygen. When you're on POIs, you need to actually find little bits of oxygen. It's like a blue whirlwind kind of effect coming out of the ground to refill your oxygen or port back to your ship. Or you can play Venture, who is a robot, so doesn't need oxygen. Now, the character I'm playing, I forget his name. But his strengths are basically one-shot melees. So if you board enemy ships and get close to people, you can just one-shot them and it'll kill them instantly with a melee, which is probably what I should do when I board ships, but I just want to shoot them with my guns. Now, talking of the guns, this is another thing. So the weapon I'm using here is called the long shot. I think, don't quote me on that, but it's got a 2-meter wide projectile, and you can quote me on that because I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh, hold on, 2-meter wide? This is really strong. Like, in close, confined environments, it's super strong. Killing people as they're moving towards your ship, it's super strong. Just killing people in general with it, it's super strong. The only thing with it is, it doesn't do a lot of damage to the PvE enemies. Now, this is a slightly higher level point of interest we've moved towards. I think it's the unstable reactor. And you can see in the left-hand side of the screen, top corner, you've got a blast the Reach Queens in the control room and the cooling tower. Now, the Reach Queens are just those big, like, snake things. They spawn out of those rifts and you destroy them. Well, they pop that rift and that does damage to you, and then they teleport somewhere. Something like that happens. You basically need to kill them. So there's a lot of, like, just trying to kill this PvP mini-boss. Once you've done that, you'll get access to better loot. Now, in terms of how our ship found this loot, there's a couple of different ways. So firstly, you can just look out the window of your ship, and you can go, oh, there's a thing over there. It looks frightening. Let's go over there, and maybe it's got good loot. Or you can use the probe system. Now, the probes are, as well, it says on the tin, right? They are probes that you dispatch from your ship. They are player-controlled. You can fly around, and you can scan enemy ships. You can scan points of interest. You can get upgrades for the probes as well, so it increases their probe range and their scan range and all of that good stuff. And you basically want to find points of interest, get your ship to them, hope that it's got good loot. It will tell you when you get to the point of interest as well, if it's low level or if it's got epic loot and things like that. And it'll say this on the map. Go in there, clear it out fast. Hopefully you don't get attacked in the process, either in the POI by people trying to ninja your loot or by an enemy ship trying to absolutely batter you. Now, what's happened here is I was running out of oxygen, I think, so I teleported back just to get out of there. But we've got a problem here because even though we're finishing this POI off, our ship is, well, that enemy battleship is getting dangerously close to our ship. So we really need to, like, be aware of, we need to get the hell out of here. Now, the one saving grace is you can instantly teleport back to your ship. So it doesn't matter where you are. You could be a completely different position. You need to get back on your ship to either repair the ship, because maybe you've got fires on the ship or you've got damaged modules and you can repair them with your sort of fancy repair multi-tool. Or you've just got enemy players on your ship, in which case you need to kill them because they're probably going to, well, set your core to critical, and if the countdown reaches 0, your ship will explode, and that is a complete loss. So, yeah, it's always easy to get back to your ship, but it's just the inconvenience of it. If the enemy are attacking you, and maybe you're close to completing a POI, but you've got to make that decision to get back to your ship, and you can. It's really easy. You can get back to your ship. Now, I think to talk about the weapons again a little bit more, this weapon I'm using here is an auto lock-on weapon. Now, I think that kind of sums up... that's an oxygen thing, by the way. That kind of sums up their approach to weapons. Don't think of this as... Like, it's not Counter-Strike, right? It's not even like Overwatch. It's not anything where you need some ultra-hardcore aim. It will help you, don't get me wrong. but there are a lot of weapons you can use if maybe you don't have the best aim. Maybe you're just looking to support your team in other ways, and that's okay. Now, I kind of want to talk about one of my major... It's a bit of a disappointment with the game, and I feel like it's a bit too safe when it comes to things like ship combat. So watch this, right? I've jumped onto the ship, and I don't know why I'm trying to shoot the flames. I ain't got the right weapon set. There we go. So I've got my multi-tool out, and I'm putting the flames out, because obviously that does damage over time to your ship and all kinds of things you don't want. I'm trying to fix the windows, because that means the oxygen supply is mangled. I'm trying to fix the engines here, because, well, our max speed has been reduced because they were on fire, which isn't good. And that's the core, and it's got 33 health. There's a load of fires here, trying to put them out. Now, you can repair the core. You can see our core's getting repaired there, because we've got ice on the ship, which you can mine, which then you can re-inject into the core. And you can see I hit the core as well to repair it. And it will slowly, well, it doesn't slowly, it quite fast gives you a bunch of ship health back. But it's on a cooldown, so you can't just spam this. Again, I guess that's for balance reasons. So look at that enemy ship there in front of me. It's got a hole in the shields. That means that shield segment there is broken. You can fire through that with your ship weapons and damage the ship. I really like that, because it rewards coordinated fire from your team. That is a really, really cool thing. What isn't so cool to me, though, is they could have gone further with this. Like, I want to be able to destroy sections of the ship. Like here, I've tried to board that enemy ship, because this is an enemy battleship, by the way. Basically, it moves slow and it's got more weapons on it. I want to get into that and try and disrupt them, because they're really hammering our ship. As you can see, I opened the door and they just instantly killed me, so I got hammered. I tried to throw a grenade through, but it didn't really do anything. But what I was trying to say is, I think it'd be cool if you could, like, literally physically blow sections of the ship off. If you could do things on the ship, like redirect the energy to shields, redirect the energy to weapons, or to even to engines. Now, there are things you can get which you can attach to the ship, which will give you, like, a speed boost. But I think it could be more involved. Like, I want to feel... I mean, maybe this is a bit too Star Trek of me, but I'd want to feel like I'm down in the engineering bay and I'm ramming energy to the shields because we're under attack, and I'm rediverting it back to engines. And if on the other side of that, I board an enemy ship, I want to be able to sabotage their engines or sabotage their weapon systems, like a bit more than just run up to the core and try and click on it and make it go critical. These are all kind of like really cool things. I think probably would have elevated the ship gameplay. Anyway, you can see two ships going at it here, literally ramming each other. that Senator Fry has just annihilated that ship. Now, I'm going over there thinking I want to board them, because they're obviously in a fight for their... Well, maybe not for their life, because they've just killed everyone. But I'm going to board them. I'm going to kill them and set their core to overload. This will be an insane play. It's a clip for the highlight reel. I see a bunch of guys there. I think that's the game director. I kill him, kill some other guy, and throw in nades in. I've got hardly any health. I think, oh, there's another little guy over there. But what I'm going to do is try and cause the core to detonate. But that guy turned around and killed me. So, okay, bit of a failed mission, but it doesn't matter, because we're going to go back for round 2. And we're going to get back on the ship. And you're probably going to see something extremely sad happen, but we'll get to that when it happens. So the other thing which is going on here is when a ship is destroyed, it has a ship core, and you can see that it's highlighted on the map. That is a really powerful module upgrade. So if you get that, get back to your ship and install it onto a module, that's going to allow you to... I think it straight up gives you more shields. I think it's quite a lot. I think it's like 10% more shield, something like that. But it's basically a big buff to your ship. Obviously, it's the hardest thing to get because it's on an enemy ship, so you have to blow an enemy ship up to get it. In terms of flying the ship as well, I don't think I've got any footage of that in this gameplay. But it's very basic. It's like up, down, left, right, and you can boost. That's kind of it, right? You don't have any weapons as the pilot. I think it could do with a bit more. I think they should actually have like a UI which shows you where your weapons are aiming, like so what your players are looking at. But maybe that again is just like part of the balance. You're not meant to be able to see everything because I guess you're in charge, and other people need to relay that back to you. That's the team play element. All right, so we're moving towards the ship core here. I think I'm going with one of the players. I think I'm going with Victoria towards this, but I decide not to go for it because as you can see, their ship has turned and it's firing at our ship. Now, the problem with them is they've got a lot more health than us, and they are attacking our ship. They've got us sort of bang to rights here, and I'm worried. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm going to need to get down. That's the edge of the map as well, by the way, up the top where the ship is stopped. So I'm thinking, okay, there's our ship to the right. It's getting absolutely hammered. I'm going to get onto their ship, and I'm just going to kill them. It's going to be an absolute hero play because they're not going to know I'm there, surely, right? Because they're all on the weapons, and look, our ship is getting really low. It's taking a massive amount of damage. But I board them, and I go on a killing spree. You've seen this at the top of the video, but I kind of cut off the bit where it all goes wrong. So I run on the ship here. Really, I should melee here, because remember I'm playing a character that's one-hit melee, but whatever. Kill these two guys on the turrets, kill the game director and somebody else. Then I think, right, let's overload the reactor. But look who kills me. The game director kills me, but I just killed him. This is the problem. They respawn instant. So if you try and like board a ship on your own, it's very hard. You need teammates to come with you to lock down the respawns and try and kill them. And probably I should have maybe set the core to react first and then gone in and tried to attack the enemy players. We lose this, by the way. We get killed. We get destroyed. But I hope that shows you what this game is about. I think it's really fun. And I think for their first effort as like a... let's call it what it is, a AAA game. It's been under development for 5 years. I think it's an interesting take on Sea of Thieves in space. I just want them to be a little bit more dangerous and give us some more funky updates. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, guys. Especially if you're a Sea of Thieves player. What do you think? Will you give this game a go? Let me know.